As it's me, it's Queen Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Now, I've been getting some confusion around this concept of the Aquarius coming back. People always ask me, will my Aquarius come back? In almost every case, the answer is no. The Aquarius generally does not come back. 50% of us will never return. If you do something to us that hurts us, angers us, and we decide to ghost, a good portion of us will never come back. Okay? The other 50% might, but only if you draw them back, meaning they're not coming back on their own. So every time I've done what I call the revolving door, it has been because the other person waited a certain amount of time, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year or more, and then approached me. And in some cases, I would take the person back. I would accept their apology. In most cases, I did not. In the cases that I did not, it was because I didn't like them that much in the first place. So when they came back forward, I was like, oh, hell no. Definitely not dealing with that again. So some people don't even get the benefit of the revolving door. It depends on how much I like them, to be honest with you. Some people I've dated I didn't like that much. I didn't feel their vibe. You know how it is. You meet somebody, you don't like them that much. So those people I'm not going back to. I'm not even taking their phone calls. But the ones who I actually did like, or the one I was in love with, or the ones that I did like or saw potential with, it hasn't been many. I did do the revolving door with, okay? And the revolving door is basically I stop seeing this person for any amount of time. They always contact me, and I forgive them because I really did like them in the first place. So I forgive them. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad. And let them back. They do the same dumb shit again. I kick them back to the curb. And in some cases, this may repeat. It depends on the person. Some people might get one chance. Some people might get another one. It depends on how much I like them. I was very much in love with Voldemort. Y'all know that. So Voldemort revolved about 6 times. Literally about 5 or 6 times, seriously. Before I was just like, look, you not getting invited into my life no more. After that, when I would see him, we would do a cameo. We would talk for a couple of days, a week or two, something like that. But I never let him back in the door. I always knew I'd have to put him back out eventually at that point. So the revolving door is when we'll go back into the relationship as it was. I did that like 5 or 6 times over the course of 2 years. And then after that 2 years, I would just see him every 3 years, 2 years, something like that. He'd cameo. We'd be cool for 15 minutes. He'd do the same dumb shit. I'd block him again. It was the same process over and over again. So there are Aquarius who will do that revolving door. Like I said, depending upon how much we care about you, how much we're into you. Voldemort is the only person that got that many chances. Other than him, some people got 1, 2, 3. And that was pretty much it. That was it. The last one got 2. I started seeing her. She was, let me tell you about this one. I started seeing this woman because she reminded me of Voldemort. And I thought to myself, Aquarius logic, if Voldemort had been a woman, maybe we would have actually gotten along a lot better. Maybe things would have worked. So she reminded me of Voldemort. Her birthday was a couple days after his. So I'm like, this could work. So I started seeing her. Chaw. She was a masculine woman, more of a masculine look. She's a Cancer, though, so they're kind of soft-hearted, And she reminded me so much of Voldemort's good side. You know, every narcissist has a good side, a charming side. And she reminded me so much of his charming side. And it was real refreshing to be with somebody who wasn't as crazy. So I started dating her for that reason, because she was never my type. I never really liked her. But that really drew me. It was like, oh. So we dated for like 3 months. In the course of those 3 months, she drove me crazy. She came out the gate. First, she was fine. And then all of the insecurities and the clinginess and all of that started. And the exes, oh my God, her and her exes, all that shit started. So I was like, oh no, we're not going to do this. So 3 months of that, and then we broke up. I was done with it. I wasn't doing it no more. So then a year passed. She had changed her phone number. She had gotten a new phone. And she texted me. I didn't recognize the number. I responded, and she said, "Can we talk?" And I was like, shit, it's Voldemort. Oh shit, you know? And I was like, okay. But by then I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't angry. I wasn't as irritated. I was kind of lonely too, because it was the holidays. And this was years ago, like 4 years, 5 years ago. It was a long time ago now. And it was the holidays. I was lonely. And I was like, okay, all right, we can talk. So we talked, and she apologized, and we laughed and talked all night. And I tapped right back into her positive side and her, her good energy, and it was great. We started seeing each other again. 3 more months passed, and I dumped her ass again. Oh no, she broke up with me this time because let me tell you, we got to the end, and I was at that point like, I can't do this. Like, I just realized, like, dog, we can't do this. This is not working with her. Like, we cannot do this. And I just started not. She would be like, "Are you gonna call me?" I'd be like, "Well, I'm busy. I gotta work tonight." And any other time I had to work, I made time to call her. So she just got the point after 3 or 4 days that I just didn't want to talk to her. And she was like, she basically just told me, like, this isn't working for us, and I could see you pulling away, so I'm gonna just leave this alone. And then we did. And then, like, she tried to still be friends, but we just ain't friends. I just don't like her. It's like, I like her sweet side, I like her charming side, but there's another side. And this is the same thing with Voldemort. There's another side. And their sweet, charming side melts me. The other side repulses me. So when that other side comes out, that manipulative side, that both of them have this emotionally manipulative shit, and all these fucking exes. Like, I can't stand some cancers and all these exes every fucking where. And when she came forward, it was the same shit. But it was like, oh, well, I'm not talking to this person no more. I'm not going to be doing that no more. So when she came back forward, she came back better. And that's how they come back. They always come back better. And then the shit starts again. So I left her alone. So that door didn't revolve. That was years ago. And that door didn't revolve a third time because the second time I realized that I just really don't like her. I realized that it never was her. It never was her. It was the fact that she reminded me of his good side. And I was thinking I can have his energy in a better person. Basically, the good parts of him in a better person, and a woman at that. That's even better. So I'm like, I can have the good parts of him in a better person. But you can't do that. You can't do that. That don't work. That don't work. Even if she hadn't been who she is, it still doesn't work. You can't be with somebody because they remind you of somebody else. And even though my logic told me that I could, my logic was wrong. It was just that I was still working through the process of going through the relationship issues with Voldemort. I was still working through the process of, dealing with the hurt, the pain, the situation. And even though it was so long ago, I still wasn't done with it. I was still working through it. And she was part of that. And then I dealt with it some more. And then recently, I finally realized when I got here to Costa Rica, like, okay, I can be done with this, And it took years. It took a long time. Like, when you go through something that bad, sometimes it takes a long time. But she was one of the mistakes that I made along the way dealing with it. So that's how the Aquarius revolves. Also, like I said before, when I was younger and stupider, a lot of it would happen because I wasn't loving myself. I would have never taken Voldemort into my life if I had been loving myself in the first place. So he wouldn't have come in the first place, and he damn sure wouldn't have revolved all those times. That was all, self sabotage, basically. So the bottom line is that some of us will do that. Some of us, a lot of us will do that, but not all of us. And even the ones of us who will do it, there's an expiration date. So we might do it once, we might do it twice, we might do it 3 times, but after a while, it's done. Once the Aquarius figures out we're done, we're done. So we might not be done right away. It might take us 3 or 4 times to be done. But some of us are done immediately and will never revolve. That's why I tell people, if you're waiting, first of all, if you're waiting for an Aquarius to return to you, that's not a good idea. We're not going to return. So if you want your Aquarius to return, you need to wait till they're no longer angry, and then you have to come forward. Because most times we're not going to come forward. The only time an Aquarius comes back to you is when they need you. Quite frankly, they need you for something. And it's usually not a good thing. It's usually like they need you, they need money, they messed up. It's usually something like that. An Aquarius doesn't usually come back forward for a good reason. It's usually a selfish reason. So I wouldn't even put up with that if I was anybody else. So that's the deal. Yes, Aquarius do come back sometimes if the other person drags us back. And 50% of us are never coming back. So I wouldn't wait for an Aquarius to come back. Ever. I would try to wait until they weren't angry and reach out once. And if they didn't respond to me after a year, 18 months, I would leave it alone. Because the bottom line is that the more you push, the further away they go. So if you hit them up in 18 months and they don't respond to you or they cuss you the fuck out, leave it alone. If they say, oh, hey, what's up? And they want to talk and they're forgiving you, then you got a shot at a revolving door. But like I said before, 50% of Aquarius are dead set against the revolving door. Like they are like, I've done this. I put up with you enough. I'm done. And like I said, the other 50% that will do the revolving door only if they really, really, really into you. And I've only been into like 4 or 5 people who really got the revolving door. Seriously. Everybody else that I walked away from never saw me again. So it's never smart to wait for an Aquarius to come back, because you're definitely wasting your time. Now, if you like the video, please hit the like button. And if you want to donate, because you guys know my love language is gifts. So if you want to donate, please check out my PayPal. That's going to be underneath here. If you want to make an appointment for a reading, my email will be here. Please email me. And if you would like to ask me a free general question, email me or drop it in the comment section. Okay? See you later.